Hey everyone, it's Joe, the 50-something Dasher, with another video here. This is being recorded on, today's date is February 20th, and I'm recording this video to post later during our family trip to Washington, D.C. So hopefully, as you're watching this, we're having a good time in the nation's capital. But today's video, I wanted to touch on the subject of going forward, like in the future, for me personally, what does the future look like for the 50-something Dasher, and like how long do I see myself dashing with DoorDash? I've been doing this for a year, and so I started in December, so a year and 2 months now. So just kind of wanted to shoot a video talking about what I see going forward. How long can I see myself doing this and that type of thing. And I'll start off by saying, and I probably mentioned this in my very first video to the channel, or either that or the second video where I talked about my background. But my W-2, I originally started with the company in 1997. So now I did quit the company at one point. There was 2 years where I was not working for them. So you're talking 25 out of the last 27 years. I've been with the W-2. And all throughout that time, leading up to 2022, I tried countless second jobs. I mean, all different kinds of other warehouses, like different. I went through temporary services. I did all kinds of different things, and nothing ever worked. It was just way too hard for me to, first of all, it was tough to find somebody that would even hire me with my limited availability. And then once I did, trying to do the 2 jobs and a fixed schedule at both jobs, and a lot of time, like I always wanted the extra money, but I'd get into these places and it just wouldn't work out. And a lot of them I quit almost before I even got started at the jobs. I mean, a lot of times it was just, and it was just this cycle where I would feel like I wasn't making that much money, and I wanted to get something in addition, a second job, and it just wouldn't work out. Like I said, it's just a vicious cycle. Well, fast forward to when I started with DoorDash, like I said, in December of 22, and I've now been doing this consistently for a year and 2 months now. I work pretty much every day of the week. Just, there are days that I have taken off, and we've, occasionally gone out of town, or maybe like one vacation. Actually, we didn't go on a big trip last year at all. But there was some different days that were, and also, like, if I had overtime at the W-2, then I wouldn't dash, and things like that. But this is by far the longest that in the last 27 years. This is by far the longest that I've done consistently a second source of income along with my W-2. I mean, the previous to this, I mean, I don't know, I might not have even lasted anywhere like a month. I mean, and so DoorDash, I mean, this is like a year and 2 months and going strong. And if you would have told me back when I signed up that here before too long, DoorDash is, because of all your deductions coming out of your W-2 check, DoorDash is actually going to turn into your primary source of take-home income. And I would have laughed at your face. I was like, oh, you gotta be kidding me. So this is far exceeded expectations. It's everything is working out. Even as I record this video, I mean, today was a really good day. And of course, I posted the recap video, so check that out for February 20th. So things are going strong. And I don't see an end in sight to this. As long as everything's continuing the way it's going, I see myself continuing to do this longer term. Like my financial situation, we have some bills, just like everybody else. And I have things that aren't getting paid off anytime soon. I've got a student loan. I've got some other things. It's going to be a while on that. We're maybe, maybe multiple years here. So I don't see myself slowing down. The one thing, and I just recently posted a video about this, the one thing that I could see that could stop me or kind of derail everything is the whole customer ratings side of things. So if I was all of a sudden to get at one time like a rash of low ratings or some customers trying to steal food, and I get, because I mean theoretically it's possible to get, you could have just one of these really extremely bad days. You could have 3 contract violations in one day. I've had 2 stealing customers before in one single day before. That happened to me. I got 2 contract violations. I want to say, if I'm not mistaken, I appealed both of them, and one of them dropped off right away. And maybe both of them. I don't remember now for sure. But tomorrow, that's the thing. There's no job security here. So that's the big issue with saying, oh yeah, I'm gonna DoorDash drive for the next 20 years. And well, you gotta kind of pump the brakes here and be realistic, because it could happen. You could get 3 contract violations all in the same day, just extremely bad luck, 3 customers trying to steal, and then all of a sudden you're deactivated. Just like that, before you even know what happened, practically. And I've just in watching other GigTube content on YouTube, I've seen that it's not that easy to get back onto the platform. There's appeals and there's different processes to getting back on, and it can be a lengthy process. So, that would be like my concern. I could, but assuming that doesn't happen, and I can safely continue on doing what I'm doing, I don't see, at least any time in the near future, like I said, I don't see any slowing down. I'm in my 50s now, of course. And I mean, I could see this, if I'm physically able to, I could see doing this in my 60s, and I'm sure there's dashers out there that are 70s, 80s. And the thing about that is, whenever the time comes where I'm not working a W-2 anymore, I have never looked at Social Security. And then even when I was younger, like in my early 20s, even back then, I have never looked at Social Security as a means to sustain somebody after they stop working. I've never seen it that way. And and I have a 401k and I put into that, but kind of like the same thing with that. I do not look at a 401k as a retirement plan. It's a savings account, is what it is. It's, as far as I'm concerned, it's not a retirement plan. I have no like retirement plan because like I said, I don't count Social Security and I don't count my 401k. So when I hear the words retirement plan, I think of pension is what I think of. I think of people in years past, they, when you worked a good job and there was a company paid pension that you received until day you died. And of course, I don't get that. So I could see, and of course we're talking years from now. I could see retiring from my W-2 and collecting the Social Security, and then whatever that limit is, I forget what it is, that you can earn from some other source of income while you're collecting Social Security. I could probably earn that income through DoorDashing, and just stay under that yearly limit. So I could see that as well. Now, if something were to happen, if I was to overnight get deactivated, or like I said, the customer ratings would start to become an issue or whatever, probably the next thing that I would look into after that is probably small package delivery. I think the very next place I don't want a multi-app, and I've talked about that before. I don't want to, unless I start having some kind of problems or issues with DoorDash, and I don't know, I start getting nervous or scared, and start thinking that I need a backup plan. But other than that, until that time comes, I don't want to get into multi-apping. But if I was to go the next thing, like I said, small package delivery, probably Amazon Flex. As I've kind of researched that, I've heard about it, is probably what I'd be interested in next. Because, the whole, I'm assuming, I don't know for sure, but I think the whole like customer rating aspect would be like taken out of the equation, because in my whole entire life, I mean, any package that I've ever received, me personally as a customer, anything that's been dropped off at my door, I've never been asked to give a rating 1 to 5 stars on a package delivery driver. I've never in my life rated my postal delivery worker, UPS driver, or even things I've received by an Amazon Flex driver. I mean, so you're delivering a package. So it's different than these food deliveries. The customers will try to steal the food, or say that the food is never right. I don't know. Maybe you still have customer issues with package delivery. Maybe with package delivery, they try to say that the package never arrived. Okay, even though you deliver it and you take a picture and everything, you get customers doing that. I don't know. But that's just one thing. You wouldn't have the complaints about, the delivery being late, because packages come on a certain day through a wide time frame. So it doesn't have, not that I've ever been aware of, is packages needing to be delivered at a certain time in the day, even when you're doing like a next day shipment. So you'd have that out of the equation. You'd have like, a driver couldn't be faulted for like missing items. It's a package. You can't, obviously you can't get rated in a negative way for a package that's missing something, because that's completely out of your control. But with food delivery, it's on some of the orders, you're expected to ensure that the order is there. Well, that would be out of the equation for package delivery. And just as a kind of like a funny side story, I have done package delivery like years ago. Now I'm talking years ago. I don't remember what year this was, but this was before smartphones, way before that. And I forget what company it was or what. I only did it for a week or so. It wasn't that long. But this was done through CB radio, believe it or not. So I hired on with this company. I don't even remember what kind of car I was driving at the time or anything. But I hired on with this company. I go and report to work or whatever. They give me like this CB radio, when I had this magnetized antenna on the roof of my car, and then this CB inside my car. And then they would kind of like the old days, like cab drivers kind of thing. And I would get the dispatcher would get a hold of me on the CB and tell me to go to a certain point A to pick up a package. And I go and I pick it up, and then I deliver it. And this was before any kind of like navigation devices. So like I said, no smartphones. And before smartphones, you had like navigation devices called TomToms, if you're old enough to remember that. This was before that. So this is the days of like hard physical paper maps is what we're talking about here. And I didn't do too well at that job. They part of the application process, they wanted to make sure that you were familiar with the city and knew your way around the city. And I told him, I said, yeah, for the most part I am. I mean, I've lived here my whole life and yada, yada, yada. But even still, I'm not familiar with every single street in the whole entire city. In general, I'm familiar with the different areas and the major roads. But not like the lesser known like side streets. And so I remember like one time I called in because I couldn't find a place and tried to get like direction. And the person was like, well, I thought you told us that you knew the city, and so I ended up quitting that. But yeah, it'd be a lot easier with with the apps and navigation, the way it'd be obviously a totally different story now. So that would be, like I said, that would be my next step. But like I said, as it stands now, I'm doing well with DoorDash. It's working out great. I work the hours that I want to work. I have a daily goal in mind each day, and I'm typically able to, I start in the mornings, and I'm usually able to hit that goal by 12 or a lot of times at the latest 1 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm meeting my goal and then stop for the day, and it's like I said, it's really working out. And but definitely, if anything changes or whatever, any news updates on that, obviously I'll post a video or yeah, I plan on still doing this, still going strong for weeks, months, maybe even years to come. So, we'll see. But anyway, that's all I have for this video. Thanks for watching, and as always, be safe out there driving. Catch you next time. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit the like button. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so already. Check out my other videos. A lot of good stuff, a lot of information for all things DoorDash. and we will see you at the next video. Thanks again for watching.